What is the ultimate enemy of our free society? The CIA running wild with infinite black budget resources with no true oversight of any kind? The FBI enforcing a two-tier justice system, busting normal citizens while allowing obvious high crimes to go without even an investigation? Corporate behemoths using an arsenal of wealth few could stand against, bending our world to their whims? While all of these are a major concern, and indeed do play their part in the perversion of law and order, there is one group whose role is integral to the survival and success of all of these corrupt elements. The ultimate enemy of our free society is the legacy media. Though these different media entities don't hold the same raw power as the CIA or FBI, their role in our society is at a vital point of power. As a free society composed of many individuals, it is our collective force that moves the world. Our government in all its different branches, our law enforcement, our military, even our private sector are different collections of our individual powers combined.
By your powers combined, I am Captain Planet!
It is us collectively that makes the world go round. When things are working properly, law enforcement will enforce the law on the criminal element that has infected our power structure. However, law enforcement needs to become aware of a crime and investigate it before they can legally do anything about it. Our society is made of checks and balances. One group monitors another, and they are monitored by yet another, and so on. The intent of this is to keep an eye on each other and hopefully keep everyone honest. If the leaders of law enforcement are in league with the people they are meant to watch, how could the bad guys ever get caught? That is where the press is particularly important. Whenever there is a crime, there is always evidence of the crime and can always be found if someone takes the time to look. Once evidence or suspicious behavior is recorded, the press reveals that information to the public. The public truly holds the power of our society, but it needs to be focused. And the press is how you focus that power by rallying the public to make a change. The press is meant to be our last defense against corruption in the halls of political power. They are supposed to be our final fail-safe alarm system. It truly is a sacred duty, if you actually give a fuck about being a journalist. Since those who control perception control reality, a media monopoly is the most dangerous type of monopoly.
But here is a former Twitter exec, an upper-level manager, who was on CNN, muting a political opponent prior to an election. Check this out.
And I think extreme times demand extreme suggestions. I think the time is to mute the president temporarily while the votes are being cast right now and until the winner is decided.
You know, I was trying to make this video for the last couple weeks, but things kept happening so fast. Hunter Biden's laptop from hell, of course, COVID. I kept having to make revisions. Then the big event was upon us, the election. I knew things were going to hit the fan, so I decided to just see what happens first.
Parts of the equation to know definitively where things are going, and that... Whoa. All right, hold on a second. No. Look, Joe Biden just took the lead in Wisconsin. Right. We're getting new information. We'll go through it.
But as the election showed, the American people never lost faith, and now Donald Trump can go home to Florida.
Good thing I did. My original script was all about describing legacy media's manipulation of the public's reality, and how it was obvious they were heavily tilting everything to a select group's benefit, while using their partners in big tech to play whack-a-mole with any online identities that were trying to call out their blatant corrupt behavior. I think the final edited recording ended up being around 27 minutes or so. But hot damn, with everything that has happened in the last few days, I barely need to describe the distorted reality we are living in. It's right there for everyone to see.
If all this wasn't enough, in Antrim County, ballots were counted for Democrats that were meant for Republicans, causing a 6,000 vote swing against our candidates. The county clerk came forward and said tabulating software glitched and caused a miscalculation of the votes. Since then, we have now discovered that 47 counties use this same software in the same capacity. Antrim County had to hand count all of the ballots. And these counties that use this software need to closely examine their results for similar discrepancies. The people of Michigan deserve a transparent and open process.
Most recently, the legacy media decides to announce Biden won the election before all the ballots were even in or verified, or Which of the media outlets did this?
All the networks!
Even Fox News? Yes, even bullshit Mockingbird fake Fox News. Needless to say, all of this odd behavior has rubbed some people the wrong way.
Right. And the only thing we had wrong in that report, Sean, it's worse than we thought. I've been in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania the last 3 days. I want you to think about this. Over 100,000 provisional ballots, record number in the state of Pennsylvania, allowing votes to be counted after the election, contrary to state law, contrary, as Mark Levin pointed out, to the U.S. Constitution, allowing those votes to come in after Election Day, to not be separated as was required and the basis of Judge Alito's decision tonight. Cured ballots, issue number 4. Cured ballots, remedy ballots. Some counties allowed people to correct their ballot. Some counties did not. That is a direct contradiction to what happened in Bush v. Gore back in 2000 and directly on point. And finally, the 5th issue is the transparency issue that you brought up, Sean. You're allowed to be in there to see, but they were keeping Dave Bossie and other people out of going in and looking at what was going on with the counting of the election. So this is the first time in American history where you have a party systematically set out to win an election after the election. And that's what they're doing, and it has to be stopped. It has to be stopped, just like Mark Levin said.
This sure does look suspicious to me. I'm going to call Rudy Giuliani.
Because they don't decide the election. The call for Joe Biden isn't what was it called by? Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks.
More people than ever see that something is seriously rotten in our government, but equally in the press that our society has relied upon for so long. Some stories get through here and there, but are not being given the time and attention they really deserve. Instead, these news agencies would prefer to give airtime to political radicals, encouraging the public documenting of their rivals.
It's not only that Trump has to lose, but that all his enablers have to lose. We have to collectively, in essence, burn down the Republican Party. We have to level them, because if there are survivors. If there are people who weathered this storm, they will do it again. They will take this as confirmation that, hey, it just pays to ride the waves. Look at me.
Why are they so desperate to destroy the president and everyone who supports them? What could they be so afraid of?
Thank you very much. You'll find out.
I think this shows where the legacy media's true allegiance lays, and it certainly isn't with the public. The truth of things is that the legacy media has been losing their grip on the public's minds for years now. Sure, they still hold a spell over a large chunk of the populace, the normies as some would call them, but if you were to look at the nightly views of CBS versus a citizen journalist like Tim Pool, you would see him absolutely destroying their ratings. It didn't take long for the media to recognize this new threat to their seat of power, so they ran crying to their buddies at Google and the other big tech tyrants to put the squeeze on these alternative media personalities, weaponizing their ever-changing terms of service and selectively enforced rules to deprive citizens of their First Amendment right. If you go to any YouTube channel that actually questions the common narrative, you can see how carefully they step around specific subjects or everyday words. There are many who won't even say the word sex on their channel. Would you ever believe that people in the United States of America would be afraid to say certain words or voice a simple political opinion? How far we have come, and how quickly, too.
I'll tell you what, they talked in the old days, I think it should still be, news when they broadcast had to be reasonably accurate, right? And they had licensing. Today they can do whatever the hell they want. It's fake news and it's a disgrace. And you know what, back there, and I'll tell you, it's hurting our country. It's hurting our country. They're the biggest problem that this country has is the fake news media.
We are witnessing a once all-powerful animal that is aware of their looming death, and they are desperate to remain relevant. So desperate they have gotten incredibly sloppy with their lies and crimes. This habit of heavy-handed hubris will ultimately be their downfall. They can try to crush us underfoot, but we are already too deeply rooted. The more they try to stomp us out, the more they wake up the sleepers. The ultimate enemy of our free society is the Fourth Estate, gone completely rogue. Now, a message to those of you who work in the media, if any of you ever even see this. You may think you are just following orders and just keeping your head down, and the state of our country is no fault of yours. But it takes the cooperation of all of you to make this all possible. Just like the Nazis in Nuremberg, you may try to claim you were forced to do these things, but it didn't work for them and it won't work for you. You have betrayed the trust of the entire public. You owe a debt to the entire country and possibly the world, and you will pay that debt. Be it through your time, your tears, or your blood, you will pay it. I don't say this as a threat. This is just an observation of your precarious situation. You better think on what it is you are doing. There's still time to do the right thing and work for honesty and revive true journalism.
Telling the truth matters. Being a good person matters.
You think this is over? Oh, you're about to cry more, bitch.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy. Yummy, you guys.